Hey, everybody. I turned down a client yesterday. Yeah, I hate to do that. I have done it before. It's the first time in a long time I have. But before I actually work with anybody, I have an initial call with them to find out, what they need, what they're like, give them a chance to find out what I like so that we can talk about whether or not we're going to be a good match, whether or not I'm going to be able to help them reach their goals. And they don't always know what their goals are when we talk the first time. Yesterday, the person I talked to, well, she had somebody to put together her presentation, her PowerPoint. She wasn't afraid of speaking in front of people in general. She thought about going to Toastmasters, but 10 to 15 people, no big deal. Even 20, she'd spoken to quite a bit. She wasn't really concerned about her delivery, didn't need anything created for her. When it really came down to it, the only thing she needed was to overcome her fear of speaking in front of large audiences. She had a couple conferences coming up this summer and fall where she was going to be in front of people, 100 or more in the audience, and that gave her a ton of anxiety. Well, I can't coach that out of you. I that's something that you have to do through repetition. You have to get in front of audiences over and over and over to get used to it. Go out and get in front of a 30-person audience. Go to a Rotary Club, go to a Lions Club, an Optimist Club. Find bigger groups out there in the real world and give the presentations you're already comfortable giving, obviously, since you're already comfortable. Now, I did give her some philosophical ideas. It's like, well, speaking in front of 100's no different really than speaking in front of 10, because that audience, whether it's 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, can only hear you one at a time. As far as they're concerned, it's one on one. So that's a perspective shift to have. Then there's the thought of making sure that you don't worry about how you look in front of that big of an audience. That's one of our biggest fears anyway, is that we don't look good, that we embarrass ourselves, but that if we focus more on the audience and what we have to give them, then we're less concerned with ourselves and our anxiety should go down. Philosophical again. There's the idea of picking out a few people in the audience to kind of see as friendly faces if you meet people beforehand so you're more comfortable in front of the audience. That's a good tactic. There's also visualization, picturing yourself in front of 100 or 500 people repeatedly before you actually go up and do it. But in general, and there's a lot of other philosophical things I could tell people in that situation, and I shared those with her. But it's not coaching as much as just giving her ideas to do on her own. If I had a bunch of audiences that I could take her to and provide her, I suppose I would charge her for coaching. But it just seemed not to make any sense. Basically, you want to get over your fear of speaking in public? Go to Toastmasters and speak in public as often as you can. Go find groups you can speak in front of that are increasingly bigger, because you're only going to be able to do it if you put yourself in that position. Now, if you are wanting to discover and develop and properly deliver your best message, hey, I'm the coach for you. And if you have some other needs that I could help you with, in terms of speaking and presenting, let's figure those out as well. But there are going to be some things that you're just going to have to do on your own. I can point you in the right direction, I can give you some ideas, but I'm not going to charge you to coach you on basic philosophy of life. That doesn't make sense. I suppose I could become a life coach, huh? Anyway, that's what I got. Go out, speak in front of an audience of 10. Go out and speak in front of an audience of 1,000. Remember, it's the same. They all hear you one at a time. They have no idea what you're going to say. So just get up there and say it. Speak anyway. See you next time on Speak Anyway, Speaking Tips.